What is a food bank? Who uses them? Are our local food banks successful in reducing food insecurity in our communities? Among these are commonly asked questions about the United States food situation. Feeding America is the organization that runs the majority of the United States food banks and pantries. Feeding America has over 200 food banks and over 66,000 food pantries. In Washington alone, almost 873,000 people are struggling with hunger, and of them, 284,000 are children. People facing hunger in Washington are estimated to report needing $449 million more dollars per year to meet their food needs. The Sequim Food Bank feeds 700 people a week, and over 68% of the food bank clients use the service as a regular food resource. Going deeper into the local food banks, we want to know what makes a successful food bank in the local communities. To answer that question, we went and talked to the Sequim and Port Angeles food banks.
So, good afternoon. I'm Andra Smith. I'm the Executive Director of the Sequim Food Bank.
Okay. What aspects of the food bank are often overlooked or unrecognized?
I really think that our volunteers are sometimes overlooked.
Yeah.
It takes so much for this to work here.
Yeah.
And we have such a small paid staff. I'm paid staff, and we have a part-time driver, and everybody else is a volunteer.
Yeah.
So we have about 50 volunteers on our roster, and that do the work of about 4 full-time employees. So
That's crazy.
yeah, so
I
it
did not know that.
couldn't. Yeah, it's crazy. It could not be done without the volunteers.
Why is the food bank so important, and what does the food bank do for our community?
About 75% of the people that use our services the maximum number of times that they can each month, and 65% of them consider it a regular source of food.
Yeah.
So as we move forward and we look and we see the foundation that we have in this community and just how important that is, that what we do as we move forward to make sure we're serving our community as well is to the best ability that we can.
Yeah. How do you feel the local food banks are doing in supporting and providing for individuals in the community?
I think we do really good, yeah. Just that whole correlation of what you eat and how you feel is so important, that we do realize that just filling people's bellies is not enough.
Yeah.
So we have to provide quality, nutritious food. Just because you use the food bank doesn't mean that you should have less than.
Yeah.
Everybody should have the same opportunity to have the same choices in their nutrition.
How long have you used the resources offered by the food bank?
It's been about 2 years, a little over 2 years now.
How has the food bank been beneficial to you?
It's provided a food source that I could not fill in otherwise. My income is low enough that I cannot just go to the grocery store and buy everything I need.
What do you find to be the most important aspect about the food bank, and why?
The organization of the food bank, the people who are there providing services, providing their time. And so there's a sense of camaraderie, of understanding that just because I need free food doesn't mean that I'm a nobody.
Do you feel that you get a well-rounded nutrition from the food that the food bank provides?
Yes, if I pick the right things. I have a choice in what I can pick, and especially in the produce area. I try to make sure I get lots of green leafy vegetables and a mixture of fruits and starches, potatoes, sweet potatoes, that kind of thing, whatever's available at the time. I try, for myself anyway, to round out my nutrition needs the best I can for the amount of food that I'm allowed at the food bank.
How do you feel the local food bank is doing to support local individuals and families of our community?
I think it's doing a fine job.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yes, they serve a variety of people, from people who are ordinarily able to provide for themselves but are going through a rough time, to people who are severely homeless or have an extremely poor income. It gives them a way to obtain non-perishable food as well as perishable food, produce, dairy, bread, that sort of thing. I'm Beth, and the food bank helps me.
Between the Port Angeles and Sequim food banks, 2 million pounds of food is distributed each year. 75% of all acquired food is donated by individuals and organizations in our community. As a whole, our community is responsible for 3/4 of the local food bank's success. If each community member bought 1 extra can of food while grocery shopping, the Sequim and Port Angeles food banks would receive an extra 500 pounds of food per week. In hopes to continue the ongoing success of our local food banks, we encourage you to buy your extra can of food to donate today. We would like to thank the Port Angeles and Sequim food banks, especially Sequim's director, Andra Smith, for allowing us to meet with them and learn about what goes into a successful food bank. We would also like to thank Beth Harris, our food bank recipient, for sharing her experience.